Come into a seated position. Try to check in our bodies to see how we're feeling. Thank you everyone for coming today. This is our last week for the summer. We'll be silent for July and August, and I'll start back in the first Thursday of September. So again, thank you for coming, and let's go ahead and turn inwards. Become aware of the breath. Close your eyes or soft focus, and just generally check in on your body to see how you're feeling today. Maybe set an intention for the practice for the rest of the day. Three more deep breaths. On the next exhale, release the deep breath. We'll begin our practice with some neck exercises. So let's take the left ear to the left shoulder and start to dip the head down. Bring the chin down to center and roll the head over to the right. Bring the right ear to right shoulder and bring the head back to center. And take the head to the right and start tucking the chin down. Come into center. Roll it over to the left. Left ear to left shoulder. And then head back to center. Now bring hands to heart center. On the inhale, draw the arms up to the sky. Looking up at those hands. Exhale, draw them down, tucking the chin. Inhale up. And exhale down. Again, inhale up. And exhale down. Let's go ahead and roll the shoulders up and back. We're now going to have our breathing practice after our meditation practice. So, and it will be the deep breath practice. But let's go ahead and set up for our meditation. So maybe do a little bit of palming to calm our nerves. Trying to find a comfortable seated position. Any seated position is fine, but try to be sitting up if you can. Again, trying to settle in, getting as comfortable as we can. And when you're ready, releasing your hands to your lap or your knees, rolling the shoulders up and back, turning inwards, going to that happy place, but remembering any thoughts that come in your head, go ahead and acknowledge them, but let them pass. Don't dwell on them. And keeping your mind clear, the day to day, trying to teach it to just stay clear and present, not sleeping. You can have your eyes open, but it's better if you just soft focus or close the eyes. And we'll try to get started. breath again. Opening our eyes, rolling the shoulders up and back. Let's go ahead and come down to our back in constructive rest. For constructive rest, you're on your back, knees are bent, walk your feet out to mat distance, and then let the knees collapse in on each other for a very short time. On the next exhale, let's release by going ahead and extend both legs long on the mat. We're going to try our breathing practice. It will be the abdominal breath. So let's place the left hand on your stomach, right hand on your chest. And you don't have to leave them here, but to get started, you want to take nice deep inhales through the nose. Feel that as that left hand, you can feel it as your abdomen rises. On the exhale, through the mouth, forcefully. Feel that in the chest. Also, continue at your own breath. Nice deep inhales and exhales. It does make a little bit of noise. You want to exhale fully. So try for a nice 5 or 6 count inhale and exhale. Or if you can make the exhale even longer than the inhale, that's even better. So practice this. Abdominal breaths are a natural occurrence when we are young. But as we get older, we start taking shorter and shorter breaths, and we lose that lung capacity. All the movements in your stomach area, you should feel that in and out. Chest staying steady. On the next exhale, let's release that. Our first pose will be fish. Now for fish, we want a small, maybe even just a fold over blanket, not real high. And it's going across the spine. So it's not going with the spine, it's going across it. So we place it right down by our hips. Then lie ourselves down. Go ahead and bend that right leg and inhale the left arm above the head. So you've got that arch in your back. Got the left arm above your head. Right arm can be out to the side. Right leg is bent. On the next exhale, let's release that side. Let's switch sides. Go ahead and extend the right leg. Redden the left leg. Bring the left arm down by your side. Inhale the right arm above your head. Reaching up. Purpose of this, of course, is to give you a gentle back bend and trying to hold that back bend. Make sure your hips are grounded. If you find that right arm cannot be flat on the mat, go ahead and put a block or something underneath it to support it. You don't want it floating. You want it in contact with the earth, either through a prop or directly. Just ease into the pose. go ahead and release that side. Bend both legs, or bend both legs. Inhale the hips up. Remove that prop. Bring the hips back down. Then roll to one side using both hands. Let's press ourselves up to our hands and knees. This is a transitioning pose, so we're not going to be here a long time. But I want you to do some cows and cats. Remembering that for cow, tail comes up slightly, stomach softens towards the mat, sternum comes through the shoulder, head comes up looking forward. On the exhale, tail tucks, you begin to round your back, head comes down, you tuck the chin for cat. This should feel pretty good on releasing that low back, especially when you do cat. We'll cycle through this several times. One more time in each direction. Now let's come on down to our back again. We're going to be doing knees to chest with support. So hopefully you have a block or the medium bolster. I want you on your back, knees bent, then inhale the hips up. Place the bolster or the block. I like to use the block. And then draw both knees into the chest. Make sure you support it. The block is there just to help you keep the knees in. A little bit easier. If you find that it doesn't seem to help at all, then go ahead and remove it. I find it's very helpful. I don't have to pull as hard to get the knees in. Fight the temptation to cross your heels. Keep the feet together, knees together, and just draw the knees in as close as you can to the chest. On the next exhale, let's release that. Let's bring our feet back down to the mat. Inhale the hips up, remove prop, lower the hips back down. We're going to move on to our next pose, which is reclined deer. So for our deer pose, again, you're on your back, knees are bent. Let's go ahead and bring our hands up to the sky, interlace the fingers, turn them out like you would in palm, and then place them underneath your head. That's going to open up the chest. The elbows are going to float, and they're going to try to draw your shoulder blades underneath your back. So you want to roll from side to side. Once you have that in place, then take the right knee out to the right and the left knee. So both knees go to the right, but I want you to flatten them out as best you can. In other words, they're not suspended. You want to be able to, now if that knee is floating and that doesn't feel good to you, then place a prop underneath the knee that's floating. Or if they're both floating a little bit, you can't get them all the way down, support both knees. I want them both over to the right, and try to bring that right heel to the left kneecap. So that's how I want them spread nice and wide. It feels like a twist. You should feel it in the hips. Let's go ahead and release that side by inhaling the knees back to center. Walk the feet back over. And now let's go ahead and Switch sides. Take the knees to the left. Again, trying to bring them all the way down. You're trying to keep your hips down so you get that stretch. Again, if there seems to be one floating knee, separate the knees nice and wide. Hands are still behind the head. Let's go ahead and release that side. Let's release our hands from behind our head. Bring the knees back to center. Walk the feet in. Now go ahead and extend the arms above the head. Extend both legs long on the mat. We're now going to do our reclined crescents. So keeping the hips where they are in the center, and walk the heels over to the left. Best you can. Take the right ankle across the left. Then slide the shoulders over to the left. And with the left hand, just slight tug on that right arm. So you get a reclined crescent on the right side. You should feel the separation. And just a very slight tug. If your arms above your heads are floating, please support them. As you notice, I'm using a blanket. It's just a little bit off. But you want to feel that all the way down from the heels, all the way up to the fingertips. exhale, let's release that. Let's unravel our heels, walk the heels back to center. Release the hands, slide the shoulders back to center. Take a inhale the arms up to the sky, down by your sides, palm down. Just give your shoulders a little bit of a break. Now inhale the arms back above the head. And now let's walk the heels over to the right, best you can. Take the left ankle across the right. Slide the shoulders over to the right, and with the right hand, grab that left wrist. Slight tug. On the next exhale, let's release that. Let's release our hands and bring our arms back to center. Unravel the ankles, walk the heels back to center. Then inhale the arms up to the sky and down by your side. Take several breaths here. And let's move on to our next one. Go ahead and bend the knees, roll to one side, and come up to your hands and knees. As a transition for all that time we spent on our back, we're going to try an extended child. So we want to keep the shoulders open. So from the hands and knees, press back the hips as much as you can, but leave the arms out in front. Bring your head to the mat or to a block so your head's not dangling, it's supported. Forearms should be on the mat. You're not trying to hold them up there like puppy or anything like that. So just Try to relax in this pose. We're going to take a couple minutes. On the next exhale, let's press ourselves back up toward hands and knees. Now come down to the elbows. We're going to set up for Sphinx pose. We're taking the right leg back, the left leg back. Slowly lower the hips all the way down. Elbows underneath the shoulder. Now you can stay here with just Sphinx by drawing through the forearms, the chest forward, or if you want support, bring the arms up by your chin and then start walking your elbows in closer until you get the right height for you. Let the fingers come open, spread wide like a lotus. So it's a Sphinx pose, but you're supporting your chin or jaw with the palms of your hands. And just adjust until you're ready. And then just hold that pose. On the next exhale, let's go ahead and release that. Now let's set up for our legs up the wall. You'll need a small bolster or a block, because I want you to, once you get your legs up the wall, I want you to put something underneath your hips to elevate it, maybe 3 or 4 inches. I like these little blocks. I have these short ones that are small. So work your way to the wall. Sit right next to it and then rotate. And then up on your back. And then raise your hips up a little bit, place the block. Doesn't need to be a lot, maybe 3 or 4 inches. What it does though, it elevates the hips. Bring the feet together. It makes it an inversion. As your hips are elevated, and it might be a little bit easier on your back too. So some people like the elevated. Make sure your hips are on the wall. As far as your arms, they can be out to the side. I like them just below shoulder height, palms to the ceiling. It kind of brings the shoulder blades underneath your back. Feels good. It doesn't drive the shoulders into the mat. Now let's go ahead and take our legs wide. Let gravity just pull them down. Get a nice groin stretch here. And I want to have you take a few moments here before we pull out of this. Turn your feet forward, so away from the wall. And now rotate them out. Left foot out to the left, right foot. And notice the difference in the groin area as you rotate the feet. So you bring that foot all the way to the wall. And then rotate them back to center. Rotate them in just a bit. Really no reason to bring them in too far. Where you get the stretches where now you take them back out. Try to bring them to the wall. And then back to center. Let's go ahead and bring the legs together. Bend the knees, bring them down. And now we're going to do the keyhole pose. Now you may want to scoot yourself away from the wall a little bit. Inhale the hips up and remove the prop from underneath your back. Now for the keyhole pose, just take that right ankle just above the left knee. And you say, oh my Lord, that's not going to work out for me. Move further away from the wall or slide that left leg up the wall even more. But you don't want the hips to float. You want to ground the hips. And all it's doing is this way you don't have to pull the knee in close. You can use your right arm to push away that knee a little bit. And we'll be here for a couple minutes. It's a very intense keyhole pose, so be careful here. Again, make sure your hips stay grounded. Let's go ahead and release the first side. Let's go ahead and extend that right leg up the wall now. And take the left ankle just above the right knee. Adjust as necessary. Again, don't let the hips float. Keep them grounded. Just adjust with that right leg. Either slide it up the wall higher or down. And then rest that left hand on that left knee. Let's go ahead and release from that side. Slowly roll down to the side. Take your time and come up to a seated position. Staff pose. Now inhale, both arms up. Reach for the sky. Get some length through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. See how that feels for you. This is more as a transition. We're not going to be here for a long time. 2 more breaths here. On the next inhale, draw the arms up to the sky. On the exhale, press down. We're now going to go ahead and come into Shavasana, corpse pose, or any other pose that allows you to release and let go. Remembering to cover our eyes and allow to support our body. Now, I've found from corpse pose that if you support your knees slightly, let your feet just go out naturally. Scooch around to get level. Maybe put a small blanket at your head. Cover your eyes. Arms by your side. Letting the shoulder blades go underneath your back. And just relax and let go. Let's start becoming aware once again. Small movements with our toes, our fingers, bringing ourselves back into the moment, bending our knees and rolling to the right. Take your time here. We roll to the right because that will allow your heart to rest. It's a little bit easier on the heart when you roll to the right side. Taking several breaths here. And when you feel you're ready, go ahead and continue rolling and use both hands to press yourself up to a seated position. Let's bring hands to heart center for one more breath. Inhale up and exhale down. A gentle bow. Namaste.